can we prepare the pets in the lead up and during this time?
Look, I think for one thing, it's terrifying for pets. So, for those that think that cats and dogs just chill and get on with it, it is terrifying. The decibels that the fireworks kick off with and the whistles and the bangs, we see such a huge spike in our claims at this time of year, cats running away, going missing, or dogs running out into traffic and things like that, horses through fences. So I think the best thing that we can do is prepare early. The key thing is we've already started. Our neighbourhood started last night. So you can prepare early and really think about your personality of your cat or dog. So give notice, I think, to your neighbours if you're one of those ones that love to get the booming, big rockets out. Give your neighbours that have got pets some notice.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, Michelle. And I just want to come back to something you touched on before about the claims, because I hadn't really thought about the physical injuries. I'd thought about psychological injuries to the animals and, because some animals can actually develop anxiety and they need to get treatment for that. But I'd forgotten about the fact that sometimes these fireworks can actually land in backyards and actually, be there to hit animals or to perhaps they eat the remains of the, yesterday's old firecracker or whatever. So that's quite concerning. So in terms of preparation as a pet owner, because you've talked about if you're someone who loves fireworks, be courteous and let your pet-loving neighbours know. But if you're someone that has a pet, how do you protect them from any of these firework-related incidents?
I think the key thing is get a safe haven prepared early. So if you've got your laundry or a darkened little room that the pet feels comfortable to get into, so start preparing that early, start getting them into bed a bit earlier. So dinner early, if you're usually pulling them in at night, get them in a few hours earlier. Calming music. If they are really anxious, talk to your vet because you can get some really nice soothing sprays, put on some soothing music.
How
Get the
do
rooms
you know
darkened.
what music dogs like? I mean, that's quite profound. Are they classical fans or do they like Baha men who let the dogs out?
Yeah,
What kind of music are
no,
we
be
talking?
surprised. I think classical. I think I've
Oh,
heard
wow.
that classical is really soothing music. Or if you just have generally the radio on at home, don't change your routine. Keep that going and try and stick to your routine as much as you can. Make sure they're microchipped. I think that's the key thing.
Okay.
So if your pets do get away or run away and they get found, then they can be picked up and microchipped, and make sure you've gone on and registered the microchip number as well. So if they are found, excuse me, they can be relocated pretty quickly. And if you've got some nice, I don't know, some soothing music, some sprays, whatever you can to make it a nice haven for them. And remember, it's going to go for about a week. So, change your
Yeah.
routine, get out, do your walking early, and then get home and get packed down pretty early.
That's one of the things that I want to talk about, because if you could have the listening ear of, let's say, the Prime Minister or the government, what kind of changes would you like to see around this space?
Oh, look, I think if we could do organised council or, community type events, so we have it one day in the year, I think that would be pretty fantastic. I'm not for banning completely, but I think if we could coordinate it and just have 1 or 2 days in the year where you Guy Fawkes are going to be out, family events, and then you only have to deal with that for 2 days. I think that would be really cool. Some people store their Guy Fawkes and their fireworks as well over Christmas, and you just never know when it's going to come about. So I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
yeah, my personal opinion would be let's have one big community event that would be pretty cool for everyone to get involved in.
Yeah, and I mean, in New Zealand, we don't have a lot of community events or celebrations. We're quite, what's the word, festival poor or celebration poor as a nation. So it'd be great to have more of those. What about licensing? Because we're pretty particular about gun licensing, which is a firearm. Why are we not requiring people to have some kind of fireworks license to let off fireworks?
That's the $1 million question, I think, isn't it? It's, that comes in, they can go on for sale, weeks before Guy Fawkes and weeks after. So, yeah, I think if we can, as a community, put some pressure on our local governments, then I think, let's see what we can do.
And so if people want to find out more about, keeping their pets safe or, getting, is there somewhere they can, put their voice forward that they would like to hear that, somewhere we can sign and say, yeah, I'd rather have one day a year instead of lots of different fireworks. Is there somewhere people can go to find out more?
I think local council, so your
Yep.
local, depending on which council borough you're in. I think there's debates and resource groups that you can talk about. Companion animals is a good one.
Oh, yeah.
They often put a survey out, about this sort of a thing, and if you can get behind those. We generally put a survey out every year and ask for our members' opinions as well. But I think a key thing is, where you're asked for your opinion, put it in, because I think the stronger the voice, the more change we can make.
And of course, protect your own pet. Do what you can do in your own space. And I love that you guys have got tips on your webpage. So if people would like to find out more, you have a blog.
Yes, yep, we've got a blog, a media release, and some helpful tips to keep your pets sort of safe this week. And then remember also that microchipping and get them registered in case they do run off. And that's a really easy 0508 lost pet. So 0508 lost pet, and just make sure that you've got them registered, and then they can be reunited with you.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us as part of the Rhema whānau. We really appreciate your company. And if you'd like to check out more stories like that one, just click here.
In fact, our channel has a whole bunch just like this, stories that can encourage you and inspire you and make you more aware of what other people's lives are like in Aotearoa and around the world. So maybe you could subscribe right here.